Hello Epic 7 newbies, this is Suspect Amy, and I'm here with a quick video about why I'm skipping Rift. And hopefully you can take a look at your account and see if you should too. Let's start at the beginning. How is Rift better than Hunts? As a test, I burned 1200 stamina in both Rift and Hunt, and here's what I came back with. 1200 stamina is basically a single 30-run session for Rift, and two 30-run sessions for Hunt. Keep in mind, there are a lot of variables in place here. It depends on what your pet buffs look like, or what event buffs are going on. I tried my best to keep buffs very similar. Drops are always RNG. I tried a few runs, and sometimes Rift got more of a certain item than Hunts, sometimes it got less. I just used the screenshot that I thought was a good average between the two. 3 things jump out immediately. Rift is better at giving epic pieces of equipment, charms, and reforge materials. Hunts are about the same, or even better, at giving everything else. Let's dig into this a bit, starting with epic equipment. At first glance, Hunts look terrible compared to Rift, but it's actually closer than you think. The key factor is that right side gear has a much higher chance of being trash compared to left side gear. In Rift, the slot you get is completely random, but in Hunts, you get crafting materials that let you focus exclusively on left side pieces. You can also pick the set and slot on an epic piece of gear every few crafts. Someone online broke down the numbers, and here's what it looks like while factoring in the crafting and left side piece probability. If you can clear Rift in one run, you're getting an epic piece of gear for every 110 stamina you burn, which is better than Hunts. But if it takes you 2 runs to clear Rift, then Hunts actually come out ahead. Rift also clearly outpaces Hunts in charms as well. No matter how many runs I do, Rift drops at least double the number of lesser charms. It's not breaking the bank or anything, we're talking about a difference of about 5 or 6 lesser charms per 1200 stamina, but that definitely adds up over time. Finally, let's talk about reforge materials. With 1200 stamina, Rift gave me about 30% more reforge mats, but they're spread across all different types. Let's say you have a great piece of speed gear and you want to reforge it. How many speed reforge mats did I get from Rift with that 1200 stamina? Just 20. But from farming the speed hunt directly, I got closer to 70. So at that rate, you'd need to spend 12,000 stamina in Rift to reforge one piece of speed gear. You can do the same thing in Hunt for less than 3.5k stamina. Now before I go too deep into bashing Rift, let's talk about what's great about it. There are 2 things that are really amazing about Rift. One is, every season Epic 7 runs a Rift event called Otherworldly Chest, and if you farm a lot, it can give you some pieces with some excellent starting gear score. Granted, the slot is still random, so you could easily be stuck with right side pieces with unusable main stats, but you can't deny this event is top-notch if you're looking for good gear. The second best thing about Rift is the ability to choose what set you want to farm, and the fact that you can farm all of them using a single team. This team often consists of off-meta units, so you don't need to pull strong RTA heroes out of your rotation. Hunts have 5 different equipment drop areas, and if you want all those sets, you'd need 5 different highly optimized teams. Most players don't bother building that many. What I do is keep teams built for the big 3 hunts, Wyvern, Golem, and Banshee. If I want immunity or penetration sets, I'll farm those in Rift for a season, usually get what I need, and then go back to Hunts. Why do I go back to Hunts? Well, Rift has some serious drawbacks. First, it takes a while to become efficient. In the beginning, you'll likely be doing 3-run clears, burning tons of stamina. Then, as your controller levels up, you'll move to 2-run clears and eventually 1-run clears. But remember what I said earlier. Rift is only more efficient for farming gear if you're doing 1-run clears. That means the first few weeks are just a big waste of stamina. Second, Rift runs are slow. There's no such thing as Rift one-shots like there is in Hunts, and there's no quick battling either. The fastest clears you'll usually see are around 15 turns. So this means a lot of keeping your phone on and unusable for half an hour or so while you farm. You also need to build a custom pet specifically for Rift, and we all know how much building pets suck in this game. On top of that, Hunts are just better at dropping literally everything else. For the same 1200 stamina, Hunts give you over 30% more stigma, 30% more gold, and a few of these other useful things. although their numbers are pretty small. So who is Rift actually for? If you look at a normal player's gear progression, Rift is great for accounts in that early to mid-game range. Accounts that are strong enough to clear it in one run, but aren't consistently over the gear cap. If you're in that range, Rift is a great way to take your gear to the next level, but you don't want to be on the other end of the spectrum like my account is now. Right now, I've got over 1,000 pieces of maxed out, unused high gear score equipment in my inventory. I'm way over the 700 gear cap and constantly forced to do massive gear purges. I've done 2 videos on this already, and it's painful, trashing like 300 fairly high gear score pieces just because I don't have the room. What I desperately need from drops are all of these things here. What I don't need is more random gear. These days, my approach is to do dedicated crafting sessions where I focus on specific stats that my account needs, like health or speed. I also just wait for the game to hand me amazing level 88 pieces as rewards over time. That's my gear strategy now because I really don't enjoy doing these massive gear purges. Don't get me wrong, if you're a serious late-game RTA player, you probably want to continue farming Rift to try and get incremental improvements on your equipment. But if you're a lazy sack of poo like me, then this might not be worth the time and effort. So what could Epic 7 do to get me excited about farming Rift again? The biggest change would be, obviously, increasing inventory slots. But honestly, that might not be enough. The core problem with Rift is that it gives you a lot of epic gear, but barely any materials to upgrade them. So you end up with a giant pile of unleveled gear, which just clogs your inventory even more. If the periodic buff events also affected reforged materials and charms, that would definitely be enough to pull me back into the farming rotation. Anyways, this is why I'm taking a break from Rift this season. Is anyone else thinking of doing the same? Let me know in the comments. That's all I have today. Thanks for watching my video. Bye everyone.